Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, but good morning to everybody and thank you all for joining me. I'm going to get right to the point. I have been challenged. How do you know this man did not really want his kids? Well, I got several stories that I can tell of how I know this man did not want his kids. First story I would start off with is I remember there's times when you and your wife coming in from out of town to spend time back in little old Guilford. And every time you all came to visit little old Guilford, you wouldn't come in the daytime. I'm speaking about this married man. You didn't show up in the daytime. You waited until the wee hours of the morning, like, grown folks' hours, where you wait until possibly your wife is asleep. And then you creep over to my mama's house 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Cause your wife's sister didn't live too far around the corner. But you would show up to my mom's house 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. And at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, ain't no little kids is up running around. Those is hours of the nights where you show up to do booty calls. So since we're going to be honest about it, let's be all the way honest. I'm going to tell my part of the story and I'll tell another part of the story. So let's get it. Okay, I remember this one night and I can remember so specific because me and my husband got into it, an argument. For me to take a break and get away, I went to my mom's house to go and chill over there for a while. I actually ended up staying the night over there. Well, on this one night that I'm staying the night over there, there was a knock at the door. You remember that, Mr. Kenny? 2 o'clock in the morning, you knocking on my mama's door. Knocking on her door. And you came in there just a smiling at 2 o'clock in the morning. Ain't no damn kids up at no 2 o'clock in the morning. But on this time, when you showed up over there, you didn't expect to see me sitting there in the living room on the sofa, did you? But yep, I was sitting right there. It just so happened on this particular wee hours of the morning, one of your daughters woke up and heard your voice at 2 a.m. And she came and stood at the top of those stairs. And when she stood there to the top of the stairs, she was rubbing her eyes and she was like, Daddy. You wiped that whole smile off your face because that ain't who you came to see, did you? And she hadn't seen you at that point for almost 5 years, probably. But you weren't there to see her. But your daughter was standing up there to the top of those stairs just a smiling because she was so glad to see that her daddy was over there. But yeah, you wiped your smile off your face and you quickly brushed your daughter off because that's not who you was there for. And let's not forget about you had 2 other kids that was there in the house. But how I know you don't want your kids. Story number 2. You remember that night my mama gave birth to your 3rd child? Same night. I came home. I bought you a picture of the baby because Before she was born, she swallowed her first bowel movement. I brought the picture home, showed you the picture of this newborn baby that was about to take a flight and go to another county to be taken care of by doctors. And what you did, soon as I showed you the picture, you turned around and looked at me while you was up in my mama house chilling while she was in the hospital. Now, I ain't saying my mama didn't deserve that, because if you laid up and had a baby with a married man and expecting him to be there for you, you sadly mistaken. But anyways, I showed you that picture and you gave me a thank you. But not thank you for seeing your daughter's face. No, you showed up and told me thank you because, oh, I thank you for waking me up because I need to get on the road. April 27th was a significant day back in the 90s, wasn't it? Because that was the day of your daughter's birth. You jumped on your motorcycle. And I can tell your wife the day that you left my mama and moved with her. It was on April 27th back in the 90s. I won't call the year out, but you know just as well as I do. Thank you for waking me up because I need to get on this road and get on where I'm going. Is that the day when you went back to your wife because it was cheaper to keep her? She was finna put your ass on child support. So you jumped up and hauled tail and went back to her. But I got more than that right there, and I don't even need to prove it because you sat there and watched me raise y'all children. Watched me while you sat there and was grooming. So any more questions about how I know you didn't want your kids? Nigga, you didn't even want the ones that you got with your wife. And I ain't talking about what I think. I'm talking about what I know. The only one I ever seen you celebrate was the boy from my mama. You remember that? You passed out cigars and everything. You even named him after one of your best friends who you call your bestest buddy. You remember Ramar? I ain't gonna say no whole names, but I remember Ramar, you named your son after him. That's your best friend. You pass out all them cigars and everything. Did your wife know about that? And for those of you all who wondering why I keep mentioning the wife, it's because the wife is asking the little kids questions that she should be asking the grown folks. Like her husband. She ain't never asked her husband what really happened. Never asked him what really happened. And when I came into it with much respect for his wife. Much respect. Because the first thing I taught my sisters and brothers was that my mama was wrong for being with this lady's husband. She was wrong. You can ask every sister and brother. I stand on that first day until this day. She was wrong. He was wrong for the relationship that they was in. I stood on that. Girl, I had your back telling these kids that my mama was so wrong for what she did. But see where you fucked up at is when you start fucking with me. See, I was on your side. On your side. But the day that you thought that you could come for me, because see, baby, I'm not my mama. I'm not my mama. But keep on. I'll give you all of the stories that you need. I'll give you peace of mind by telling you each and every one of these stories bit by bit. And as I get the memory comes back into my head about all of these little stories, because when you chose to ask kids that were underage, once you got your hands on them, about all these questions about grown folks' business, that's when you start adding kids into stuff that they ain't got no business being in. But since I was the adult in the situation that took on my sisters and brothers after my mama passed away, I'll be the one to answer the question loud and proud. And when you can stand in front of one of those children's face and tell them you did all of the nasty things to them that you did because of who they mama was, there's a special place for you. Because you could have left them right where they were at. But no, you were so busy and so strong on your vengeance that you was gonna get for a woman that ain't even here no more. That you thought it was a good idea to come for me and the children that she gave birth to. But it's all right. Big sis is here to give you what you need. Any more questions, just keep on asking. But I'm going to say it again. That man ain't want the kids he had from you, and he damn sure ain't want the ones that he had from my mama. I tell him, you, and anybody else who want to know. And as a matter of fact, all the kids are adults now because, yes, I did it in order. I waited until everybody was full-grown adults before I said anything. But right now, I'm going to still say my mama was wrong for what she did. But you wrong too. And so now, since you want to tell your stories or you want to ask your questions and you want to make things seem like they was one way or the other, nope. Now I'm going to bring both of y'all and pull you out here. And I'm going to tell all the stories about the first time that I visit with my kids and they came back with, and I call them my kids because I raised them from day one, even when my mama was here. But I'm going to tell about that story when the first time, after letting you all get custody of them, how they came back so nasty and disgusting. Yep. Couldn't even make it off the road without bringing them back to the house and washing everything that you sent. Miss, I want the kids. I knew when you approached me on that day and said that you wanted the kids. I know you ain't want the kids, Mr. Kenny. I knew it was your wife, but I also knew that she had an agenda. She want that money that she know about. Yeah, and I'm going to tell the stories about that too, because as long as you got access to my sisters and brothers, you got access to the family money. Yeah, girl. I'm going to tell all of your stories with a smile on my face, with tears in my eyes, whichever way that I want to tell it. I'm going to tell the story. I bet you can't tell me I'm lying about now one of them. I bet you can't. Even your church people want to know what happened. Y'all been telling all y'all little stories and stuff. Yeah, they all laughing and giggling behind the scenes, asking questions. How y'all playing all of them games and trying to figure out how you can get money from this place and that place over there. Yep. I'm going to let all your little secrets out the bag. Expose all of your little secrets. You knocked on the right door this time. You knocked on the right door this time. I'm here to answer all of your questions. Whatever questions you got, keep them coming. Ask the church folks some more questions, and I'll answer every last one of them. Every one of them. Just keep on asking your questions. How I know. Now, when I get ready to release a little bit more and tell some more stories in detail, I will. But don't ask me how I know. Nigga, I know you didn't want those kids. Could have left my sisters and brothers right where they were. But you needed that money. You needed that money. And you got it. You got it. You made my mama pay, right? Or did you make her kids pay? We'll see. God say he protect children and the elderly.